Big crash takes out some important GC candidates. Could Tadej Pogacar take his second win in this first week of the Tour de France 2025? From Saint-Malo to Mur de Bretagne, this is where Mathieu van der Poel won in 2021. It was stage 2. There was also crashes in those sort of stages. I think stage 3 there was a big crash. Roglic crashed also in the Colbrelli incident. It's 2 kilometers at about 7%, but it levels off near the top. There's a bit of a headwind. Breakaway though. Visma Lease Bike were trying to get in the break once again. Splits do open up straight out of neutral with Campenaerts and Van Aert. But Alpecin de Koenig, or when you're watching break formation yourself, what are riders doing in the line? Watch Jonas Rickaert here. He's trying to stop this move going, so he moves off Van Aert's wheel left, and his teammate behind him also does the same, and they don't follow through. That leaves a gap, it stops the momentum, and it stops Visma getting in the breakaway. So Alpecin and UAE were both controlling break formation. They wanted to control for the stage win from the peloton. EF, of course, wanted, like every other team, basically. These teams here are logical, they are rational. They know that if you go to the finish with Tadej Pogacar, there's 99% chance on this sort of finish you are not going to win the stage. And Tim Wellens is doing a fantastic job in the Polka Dots jersey, controlling Uno-X, Arkea want to be in, and Van der Poel himself. The break formation took so long, it almost looked like he was changing tack, and he was going to jump in the break formation that Van Aert had started to jump in. Wellens follows him, but eventually, just when maybe you think a big group is going to go, a easily controllable one does go, with Alex Baudin, Ivan Garcia Cortina, Haller, Geraint Thomas, and Kostu. EF get to the front with 3. They block. They're represented in front. Tudor go to the front with 2. They block. I'd argue this is actually not helping their cause, because it's such a small group that then when the expected riders get on the front to start controlling, the break has no chance of success, which is Sylvain Dillier for Alpecin and Niels Pollitt for UAE Team Emirates. Probably it needed to be a group of 15, 20 to win today. Maybe with the right composition, 10 or 12 could have made it. But anyway, intermediate sprint was deeper into the stage today. Intermarché Wanty tried to make it hard on the uphill kicker before that sprint, but it wasn't hard enough. And again, Johnny Milan takes the maximum points remaining in the peloton. And then 1:13 was the gap, 50k's to go. The breakaway, we all knew, had no chance to make it despite riding pretty well. Last chance to go back to the cars, get an ice sock, get some refreshments to cool down, and the shape of the peloton had changed completely, with the lead-outs beginning for the various GC teams. Kostu goes solo at the top of the Côte de Mur de Bretagne in the village, and then the climb itself starts after that. He was very, very strong. He started with 43, 45 seconds, and he only loses 10, 15 seconds to the peloton, which, by the way, is being lit up by Simon Philip Yates. Splits happening, Carlos Rodriguez having to close it, and on the first Mur, we are seeing Mathieu van der Poel already on a gap. So by the first move with 16k's to go, we're seeing it, but also the UAE Team Emirates car is seeing this, that Van der Poel basically has no chance to win this stage. And so Pogacar can probably be a little bit more conservative on the final climb. Van Aert looks over his shoulder. He tried to anticipate on the fast downhill. Wellens is closing and he loses his sunglasses, bouncing into the road, never to be seen again. Wellens says, stop this nonsense. Voklar was with him as well, actually. So Arkea, they were really well represented. It was still a pretty big group. All the main GC contenders here, Roglic, Lipovic, Dunbar, Almeida for UAE, of course, although he looked a little bit suspect yesterday at the finish. And here he is moving up on the right-hand side. Almeida's positioning and general descending has been excellent this year. He won a Basque Country stage this year with a fantastic solo descent after going clear on the climb. He moves into position. The problem is he doesn't hold this position in front. And very shortly afterwards, about 2 minutes later, he's midway this group on the back left. And watch Skjelmoser here. We don't know what happened exactly. Obviously, someone had to brake or stop. Skjelmoser stops, brakes a bit, and Almeida was behind him, and then everyone goes down at 65k's an hour. Healy's caught up. Enric Mas is caught up. He loses 51 seconds. I have no idea how he only lost 51 seconds. He must have had a very stressful final 10 minutes of this stage. But Almeida, when a rider's sitting in the ditch holding their wrist, it normally means they've broken something, but he's able to get back on the bike. He finishes 10 minutes down. It means his GC bid's over. Jack Hagan, Santiago Buitrago also very, very banged up after that crash. But the race goes on. Soler pacing, Pacher in front of Van Aert, and Wellens does a fantastic lead out into the bottom of this climb. He jumps Van Aert, and then Vingegaard's a little bit boxed in by the Arkea lead out and Tish Benoit, and so Pogacar is able to start this climb in front of Vingegaard with Remco Evenepoel in his wheel through this right-hand corner. And there was split straight away because riders were put on a little bit of a gap. Wellens started launching it immediately at the bottom of the climb. Narvaez was deeper in the group, and Pogacar, we don't see the moment that Wellens pulls off, but there's already a split during his lead-up. Benoit has to pull out of the line. He puts Vingegaard back onto Evenepoel's wheel. Van der Poel is gone, and then Pogacar goes when it's a little bit steeper, over 10% on the Mur, 11, 12, 13% gradients for a short time. Not as hard as the Saint-Hilaire climb, I don't think. But Remco, maybe seeing the gap, he goes to the front and says, I can do the lead out for Tadej Pogacar. He's fiddling with his bike computer. He's obviously feeling really good. Roglic and Lipovic were on a gap. And it was somewhat strange for Remco because he didn't pace all out to the point where he stopped the guys behind coming back. You see Narvaez, Vauquelin coming back. But he also spent a little bit of energy as well for the benefit of Tadej Pogacar in the headwind. And Pogacar knows Narvaez is there. He's just waiting for him to come to the front. And here he comes. The race is pretty much over at this point because last minute, it's like the last 400 meters of this are only like 1.5% with a headwind. It's too hard to attack, too much benefit on the wheel, and Narvaez comes to the front. And even then, Pogacar was going to his teammates' wheel. Remco puts himself into P2 in front of Pogacar for the headwind sprint. So he needed to go a little bit further back in the line, and Narvaez does a fantastic job. Narvaez, Almeida, they've been huge for Pogacar in stages 2, 4, and this stage today. When Pogacar opened his sprint with a lead out like that, we knew there was no one else that was going to be able to beat him. Him and Vingegaard actually taking a gap of 2 seconds on the others. Oscar Onley just holding on for third in the sprint behind. But UAE did exactly what they needed to do. The only, I think, blemish on the stage is Almeida, but apparently he only has a rib fracture, but his hand, no fractures, and he's going to try to start the stage tomorrow. He's going to be a key player or figure for Pogacar in the mountains coming up, who wins ahead of Vingegaard, then only Felix Gall, Jorgensen, Evenepoel, Vauquelin, Narvaez, Laurens, and Tobias Johannesson. Here's what Pogacar had to say after the race.
Today, whether you wear the jersey, whether you don't wear the jersey, you don't care. You just want to win. Today was the perfect example of that.
Oh yeah, I'm super happy with the win today. We did almost perfect, and unfortunately Joao crashed, and I hope he's okay. If he's okay, then it's perfect day. If he's not okay, then this victory is for him. And right now I just wish he's okay.
In terms of GC, Almeida loses 10 minutes. He's out of the GC picture, and so he drops out of the top 10. Obviously, Van der Poel loses some spots, so Evenepoel, for the podium at least, is looking like the heavy favourite for third, and Vingegaard is still more than a minute adrift of Tadej Pogacar, who extends his lead by another 4 seconds today. Hope you enjoyed the recap. See you tomorrow. Ciao.